Yes, rizoba n'abashemererwa abanyambara nimbaramsya mwasi bagemurire buhoro Hon Bonnie Kashaija mutunji turya rizoba tuyino rukiko rwa parish model aha district hall council kamukuzaho mutawunite yambara abanyambara nishemererwa garuka kubija mundu kubaretero buhereza bwa PDM obuhereza bwa PDM obuyaheri rizoba twayeta PDM Secretariat, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Trade, Enterprise Uganda nangwa twinoho n'abawendi aba bari kutugabira sente twayeta timu ezo zona tubinaha omushengeje cyakamukuzi kuganira kureba aha PDM twasye necyabuze sente tukazehoreza nsima President Museveni ahabo shitekateko n'ekiroto cya PDM abo kubakorwa PDM etandika burumuruka gwatungire burumuruka ningashibura wodo musite yitu nkeyambara gwashikize miliyoni 800 ziriyoni zitambura ziriyo mbantu zikore mirimo nizizara mwene ndeba ngo ombirote President Museveni yarosire mazime cya parish development model kikaje kiroto kirungi kandi kiriyoni kikora harimo bace embibonce nko kubagambe mbibazo gwaharuceri zikoma konke mbibo nyingi zikagwa hita karungi eza PDM abantu bariyo barisize ente barisize mpunu bariyo nibateka maniwo mbitoke byabo no mwani abace bine inkoko abandi bine ebyenyanja ebyo byona nebijuma bya PDM yahakirota cha President Museveni so erizoba twayeta abiturupeta abajwecerwa bya PDM haza district zona omuryankore na Kigezi nibo tweta PDM focal point persons konka abana abakozi ba government ba districts baba bari ba commercial officer ba production officer ba community development officer abarukujwecera PDM umuza district zabo so turiyo tuganira nabo mushenjo mutune kiganiro cy'ibiro bibiri erizobo rwakana na nyencha karo rwakatano okureba ngo twena twacenga twaza aharengo rumwe rwo kwetegereza emitwarize ya PDM ningashengererwaho ya PDM na mnonga yo kugira ngo twasiyo mbwire ubo kushashuza esente ezabantu batungire abo kubantu tugira ngo wazikozese myaka 2 oyizo zigarure nanakagoba kaceka ko bucweka mukaga hari 10 buri mwaka rero nabandi bazikozese kandi kirungi cye sente zokora kuzigara zugumo mu rukogwe zikora banka yo muruka tumanyisa ngo murumuna wawe mukuru wawe umuranwa naija kwehore sente zo nangwa ni bahawe emyaka nogaruka nozehora mbwene munywani wanje orukundebesha heji gare sente zo ozigara hamuruka orukurabiro mu ruwendi wawe ntumwina hana wayenda nombuza nakwetegereza orukurabiro mu ruwendi zigaruka ha banka yitu yo muruka abanyayuganda bazikoze bakatwamara emyaka 4 musteke sente zi omumeruka President Museveni ngo kuyashoboriye no kuyatwabwire niko kirukora mbwenu nyabose biyo wakize emyaka 2 ne sente zi tandika kuzigarana nco muramwa mukuru guturuheri izoba kureba ngo abantu batandukanga sente omuramwa gwa kabiri nubwo kushobora abantu ngo President Museveni kuyabere na yetororo mu campaign ze abantu bamugira ngo nabone benda kwejumbura umuhereza bwa PDM tuburiyo ngo ashemereye PDM aka PDM neje y'abantu abatine mishara abatine ntasya konka kandi negendera kugira ngo buruka egire ntasya so konka nubwo kuborinkanye niwe wa paparazi oyikirizibo kuzo mu cyaro cyawo mu ruka rwawe ukareba ngo wayejumbira umuhereza bwa PDM no basa kuba umwebembezi umusako ya PDM maze yo yahandikise umurukiko ruba kweta AGM ninga abagana bakweta tabamarika no basa kutererwa karuru ninga no basa kutera karuru konke shukuru munonga ntwenda ngo abantu barebe ngo PDM yagira ubwebembezi burungi yagira bebembezi barungi batinde bushomankuzi bino mutuma gwihanga bino mutuma gwo kunda bino mutima gwo kuhereza kandi sente za PDM zagira omugasho zabe mbibonungi eyo kubeba eguzimazima ekazara nko mutumurungi gwo muzabubu nko mutumurungi gwo miyembe nko kuwafutayo mutumwa gwo miyembe kakuzarira bijuma byingi ningo kabyare bihimba edebemwe kwihamwe de bikumi PDM no nembibo mwenu President Museveni akageta ngo tubibe turamare kubiba imbibege zare ikanye abanyayuganda bargomboro kegire ndasi so nico cyaturetaha umushenjo mbo kunashobora twine muba focal point persons abakorwa mu district zona za Ankore na Kigezi nyo mwabazi yo tubire turi abakorwa mu za muri Rwenzori region Kasese Fort Toro nangwa nyombende na Ruwa abakorwa mu West Nile Bon so turiyo ntwetoro rihanga ryona kureba ngo PDM obuhereza bwayo bwayongera kubonera nico kigenderwa cyitshukuru.
So during the training, when we erected the vetting committee, we made it very clear. All applications will be registered. What we don't want cases, I submitted so and so on my application. One cannot be submitting the parish chief, another submitting the secretary of the committee, another submitting the chairperson. We said all applications must be submitted to the chairperson, vetting committee, and recorded, and on which date you return the what? The application, so that we are able to follow up those applications. Then, of course, we even said that that's when the vetting will be done. It was very clear. Deadline will be on this date. If applications will not have been submitted to the chairperson on this date, the vetting committees will be sitting from this date to this date. And there was a schedule for that, even the vetting process. Good enough for us. In the release, we had enough team. We have enough commercial officers that every vetting committee there was an ex-official as a commercial officer, together with the parish chief. So that was, to us, it was good enough. But of course, I know some districts are too big. You can't have a commercial officer in every parish. But even the vetting processes, we have attended them. We vetted with them. So that's we never had any challenges in the vetting process because we were there.
So remember, the question.
Okay, the place. No, we have a designated. Each parish has a designated place. Those who don't have the tables, we have a designated place where each parish is supposed to.
Let's hear from the city because it is.
But they submit the person, not the place. They submit the person, not the place. Yes.
You know why these other law settings are the same. Let's hear from the city.
Thank you. Thank you, the deputy PDM coordinator. From Barara City, of course, I was listening right from the whole setup. The city is different. Even when it comes to the population, to the dynamics of the people, is so volatile and different. But on the issue of where our operations will take place, at least most of our wards have offices, whether not for government or rented, but they have offices, and that's where those are the point places we use to do what? To do business. So the submissions, like those applications, get to those ward offices. The only challenge is the office is shared. You find that there is an LC, there is a town agent, and also the PDM coordination team.
But it's there.
Yes.
So what you mean every day one of the PDM is supposed to be there?
Yes, if you need something concerning PDM, at least you get to that office, you will get a service, or you'll be directed. Or even if, because PDM, you know, the operations of PDM, this is not something that is done daily. Like if there's an activity, that is for general operations. If there's an activity, people are aware that this week we are doing this, so somebody must be at that office.
So remember, we have scenarios. Now we have three. Up to now we have one where you say they submit the chairperson. Two others are saying they get one day, which they publicize for all people to submit, and the chairperson and his team they wait for them to submit. Do you have any other way? But which is now, which one is the best one we can be able to sell to the public?
No, just the ideal that happens and what should be happening is that every parish or ward in this country has what they call the stones.
Yes.
And PDM by its nature works on the parish. That's why it is called the parish model. So unless actually the ideal should be registered differently. But the norm is there must be a parish chief. Remember that parish chief is a civil servant who works daily, who is paid to work daily. Okay, who is paid to work daily. That the parish chief across the country is supposed to be in the office every day and is given a certain additional payment specifically for PDM. Meaning whenever even he's paid and he's supposed to work for PDM, he receives the tablet for PDM, he is paid and given some top up for PDM, and he's supposed to be in the office, he or she in the office every day, and part of his or her major work should be PDM. So there shouldn't be an excuse of where you put an application in regard to PDM of any activity. Call it vetting, call it application. Actually, if that scenario is there, then we should know why. It shouldn't be how do you do it. No, it should be why are you not accessing the parish chief? Because it is part and parcel of his work. Thank you very much.
So, Madam, with that, they do profile. So, the office is there, but it may not be there. So,
The office is not a building.
Thank you, sir. We are here discussing, but we all know that some parish chiefs are not parish chiefs. That is one. I'm going to explain. Two, the parish chief is not a member of the vetting committee. The parish chief is an ex-official.
Remember, you people care even in the ordinary cooperatives. A commercial office and the legislative body plus the manager.
They are ex-officials.
But an ex-official can be delegated to receive.
And the parish chief is the secretary.
And he's the secretary of the can be delegated to
We are talking about the vetting committee.
He's a member.
So he can receive application forms.
He's a member, even the PISO and LOC ones. And it was done technically. One, LOC ones to give information relating to the presidential bit of it. Members, Wanamukuru. Maybe that is also one of another issue which we have, colleagues, I think let us settle. We are over discussing and we are going to have so many meetings. Another issue which we have, reading is a challenge to Africans. Here I'm always watching people on different platforms, even arguing on things which are very clear in some secular. Like now this secular one. People just read like as if it's running. Because now, like it's talking about peace or whatever, whoever is the intelligent person at the parish was brought on board purposely to be a counter force for the on the LS1. Because the LS1 they are the ones performing what? Their own residents. But now we are putting someone whom we know we can also allow to go and make further what? Get a backup. Is it true that this person really a resident in this parish? That's why we put those parish intelligence officers to also counter to find out on what the LOC1s are telling us. A technical person on this for the case of PDM is like a representing the commercial officer of that vetting committee. Because if we are to put commercial officers and you have a parish with 180 parishes, when will you finish? You can't be everywhere. That's why we knew one parish chief is more on ground than any of us. Meaning, he will be able even to provide information because we are sure they are working directly with us, with our PDM. Two, they have been receiving a number of trainings and we assume they know PDM very well. So they are representing who? The commercial office on that committee to offer technical guidance, which commercial officers will have
They are the PDM secretary there.
So that's why they are there. So this time the commercial officers for you, you just train your parish chief so that in the case of everything and you tell them where you get stuck, you call what? You call me and I guide you. You don't need to go to each and every parish. I don't think you have that fuel and whatever means to go there, each and every parish. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's what we have done because a person like this the Canon which has 98 parishes you can't everywhere. We have started by training our technical teams who will represent us and who will represent us in some of those meetings. However, whatever we do, we also put into consideration the issue of empowering people to do their own work. In this case, the vetting committees are a very, very good committee. We want them to ensure that they learn how to do their work and they do it well, and they are not perceived to be interfered with. So what we have guided them to do, that you can't be in the office every day. Specify time when you will receive these applications, so that the chairperson or any member of the three of the vetting committee is there to receive the applications on behalf of the vetting committee. For us, our parish chief or CDO will be there during the vetting meeting, has been there as representing the commercial officer, where the commercial officer will not be. So we want the vetting committee. We say in our area, we say the vetting committee should understand their role, participate from the beginning, and they do not give excuses that they were interfered with. Yes, that's what we have done.
Okay, that is very okay. Actually, even in normal cooperatives, vetting is supposed to be like that. So some of us will go beyond and we become a vetting committee. Because I know that the petition is always, you know, yeah. Actually, that one is a serious challenge even in our ordinary cooperatives. We get so many challenges that even me when I'm on a vetting committee, my work is to offer technical advice. Where I see they have refused my technical guidance and it is against the law, that's when I can insist. But others even they become the vetting committee. We have been at the general meetings where someone, the member said the commercial officer told us that either by hook or crook, this person must be there. So that one is always. So members, I think we have agreed. I think a parish is the best what? The best place where members can receive applications. Either basing on what he said, they can give a timeline on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday will be there. Or they can give to parish chiefs. I think even they can give to parish. What you need to emphasize is there must be a book that so submitted on such a date his application at such a given time, something like that. I think that's what we have agreed.
A group of civil servants, specifically those who work directly with PDM, we call them PDM focal point persons. They are coming from Ankole and Kigezi. We have each district is very well represented and each municipality they are well represented. Some of them are commercial officers, some are production officers, some are community development officers, civil servants basically at district local governments. But the main purpose of us being here today is to, first of all, to bring more information about PDM governance, about PDM loan repayment. We are in the period of PDM loan repayment, and about working with what we call practical training centers. That is where PDM beneficiaries go, learn from, depending on which enterprise they are in, whether someone has a good fishery pond, whether someone has good piggery, poultry, banana plantation, coffee, and so many other PDM enterprise groups. So we are meeting these focal point persons from districts of Ankole and Kigezi to ensure that we are at the same page in implementation of PDM. We all know that PDM has now spent 5 years in existence, 4 years in existence. We have disbursed an average of 400 million per parish in each country, in this country, in every parish. And you know, PDM is uniform. When we disburse, every parish receives. So now the issue is the money has been received. It is in saturation. Where is the impact? We are looking at the impact. Where is the impact? Where are the loan repayments? It is time now for those who received the money in the first 2 batches of 2022, 2023, and roughly 2024 to start paying those loans. I know many people or some people had misconceived that it's money, it's like a CMO, it's a Thanksgiving. But yes, His Excellency President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, we appreciate him for bringing PDM. We appreciate him for this initiative. It is one of the best I've met in government initiatives. But the issue is, this money is supposed to be at the parish and form what we call a parish bank or parish revolvement fund. So you bring back the money, please, ladies and gentlemen, or tell your mother, your father, your sister who uses PDM money that it is time to pay the loan. Pay it with 6% interest per annum. That is if you have spent 2 years, you put in 120. 1 year, you put in 60,000. That is, it is also more or less a casino because that kind of interest rate is not anywhere else apart from PDM. So of course, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, has done a lot to bring this money to the household. Remember, PDM is targeting a household, a low-income household, which is supposed to be uplifted into the money economy in this country. the target of the president, the NRM government, and all of us who are part and parcel of this process is to ensure that most Ugandans or every Ugandan are from poverty to money economy. And I believe PDM has done. Because when you look at the 400 million per parish Omuruka ward, money in saturation, it is doing wonders, and we have already seen examples. And our prayer is that we continue making an impact from this PDM revolving fund, which is already, but we just want to emphasize that now we are in a stabilization phase where people are supposed to be paying back their loans, where people are supposed to be learning more about the enterprises, and where people are supposed to be getting new circle managers. Also, according to cooperative law, it's time for new circle managers to take place. When we are moving around with the president in the campaigns, the president realized that we needed to involve each and every person, citizen in the parish. So that is the need and the change that we have made, whereby formerly it was only beneficiaries who are participating in the governance of the PDM circle at the parish or at the local. But right now, the new guidelines are that each and every citizen in this country, as long as you are non-recognized and you are of good integrity, you are supposed and allowed and encouraged to come and participate in the governance of the PDM circle at your own parish. That is, you can either vote or be voted for as the leader of PDM. However, that does not qualify you to be a PDM beneficiary. PDM beneficiaries will always come from the enterprise groups, and the qualifications stay the same, those who are below the poverty line. So the purpose of this meeting today here at Timbara District Council Hall is to ensure that we at the secretariat, we from the secretariat, like me as the national coordinator, and our district point focal persons who are ambassadors of PDM across the country, we are at the same page. We understand these guidelines together in one way, and we are going to move smoothly, especially, like, if I may emphasize, on loan repayment, on election of new circle managers, and on the utilization of practical training centers and community-based facilitators. That is the purpose. So in this hall, those you see, those participating, those communicating to you, are focal point persons from the districts of Ankole and Kigezi. Right here, we shall be here for 2 days. We are here today, which is the Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday, 29th, and then we shall be going to other districts. So this is what we are here for and what we are doing. I am happy to be here. Thank you very much.